it's not like I don't trust our analysts.
Okay.
I do appreciate them. Ducky on the screen.
Michael, see, I know when Nightmare and Initialize are here, they call him like Sophos, Destroyer of Worlds and Devourer of Realms, I believe I heard that.
But he's a duck.
But to me, he's just Michael the Duck.
He's just a duck, isn't he?
He's just a duck.
Like, Bifrost and Riddle in the sky. Bifrost's been in the sky so far this season, looking to the only team that can take down X7 at the top of the table. Losing here confirms X7 the title of regular season, because JDXL can catch up, but they're 0-2, so it doesn't matter. Bifrost, of course, would lose out. X7 will either, well, I say will either, can either win today if Bifrost drop this game, or they can grab it on Wednesday by winning their game. But for Bifrost, this is a big game. For Riddle, maybe even bigger.
Yeah.
Because they win this game, they're not confirmed, but we were talking about this a little bit earlier and saying, if Riddle win this game, look, they're basically there.
Yeah, no, they, you know, a win here, the rest of the teams below them, 4 wins. It's a 4-win gap, you've got 4 games left. All it takes is Riddle to effectively, you know, pick up 1 more game. I think the strength schedule discussion was about Astralis. I don't think it was actually about Riddle. I think Riddle still have a pretty strong opportunity to then pick up a 9th win anyway. So yeah, it's a must-win game. I feel like for both teams, and again, whilst yes, we can have the conversation about, you know, trying to reach for first place for Bifrost, I think realistically the conversation is about trying to secure 2nd place and being in a race with JDXL.
Yes.
To try and avoid that loser bracket. That is the slightly more important thing, I feel like, for Bifrost, because again, you start off in the winners bracket, you get extra life, you get, you know, the immediate buy if you win that series. I'll search for the word. Into the finals, which takes you directly to EUM, whether it's play-ins or main. Doesn't matter, you're at EUM. So coming into that 1-2 position, very, very important. Talk about the game now. Junglers both did start off on the top side. C-Boy on the Hecarim. Go for that very standard. Full clear here. MC on the opposite side. Red, Raptors, Grump looking at the bottom lane straight away, and I think it makes sense. You've got that Draven, you've got nukes on the rail. You want to try and make as much impact as you can. You've got the setup there, certainly. Maybe looking for something else instead. Could even go for a dive. The wave is stacked up, and it looks like that's the positioning for it. But C-Boy's going to be right here. MC's going to watch him turn the corner, and they might still go for this regardless.
They could go for the play. It's going to be a 3v2 under tower. What can Tom Kench do here? The damage on Oni is big already. He's going to go down for first blood as Riddle look to make their escape. But C-Boy is here. He's going to catch them as they move into the brush. But he doesn't get any CC down.
C-Boy probably only has 2 points in Q and no point in E. Actually, if observers, if I can ask, we can click on C-Boy. He was still farming. He was still farming, so he didn't have Devastating Charge available. He's going to pick up the wave now. Obviously, he's going to ding level 4. Then he's going to be able to go back to the Krogs and farm up more. But no E means there's no trade kill, because all he can do is pop Ghost, walk in, pray that he can get some kills. But Phase Rush, there's no stacking AD. There's no way to get onto any of the members there from Riddle. Perfectly executed dive, especially from Nuke's Flash E. Locks down all of the CC, and the damage that follows is lethal. No opportunity for Bifrost's bot lane to even flash.
It's stuff like that where it's a case of, we know that their Hecarim is probably going to have to... If he'd leveled E, that is a completely different story. That's 1, maybe 2 return kills. Yeah. But as it is now, Bifrost do lose out on First Blood. First Blood isn't everything. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. But Riddle do need to get ahead of ourselves.
Well, they need to get ahead of Bifrost.
Yeah, I mean... Okay, fine, whatever.
He hates
You know what? That's fine. I don't care. The first kill went over to Draven. Yes. It's the champion.
No, come on, don't throw it away. This is very important for Riddle, because at the end of the day, Draven is part of the core win condition here. You draft Draven, you have to play around him. MC, recognizing that, as well as Riddle, they stack up the wave. Riddle is there, or MC is there rather, on that 3rd wave, and they make the dive work. And again, they're stacking the wave for a 2nd time. Given where MC is, the only way that he makes it to this wave, they're actually pinging the wave. So I think MC might recall off the Raptors and then try and make it to the stacked wave. We'll see if my prediction comes true. I think that's what's going to end up happening. MC's going to recall, and they're going to try and make the dive work on this wave. So expect MC to immediately sprint it down to the bottom lane and then look for a dive here. Let's see if, you know, Bifrost actually read this one out. You can tell how slow they're trying to push this wave in. They're doing their best to try and ensure that it doesn't crash on this wave right now. So they want it to sort of hit where the banner is, where the NLC banner is. They want the wave to sort of stop there, and then they'll deliver the wave. They'll crash the wave in. Now, they'll hard shove now, or try and wait for MC to catch up, really. And then they're going to go for the dive again. C-Boy, he's pathing down towards the bottom side. He's going to be here. He's going to be level 5. This time he will have the devastating charge available and actually skipping the camp. So he's reading this play exceptionally well. And he's going to be here
mid laners
ready.
As well, you know.
Yeah, mid
Everyone
laners
wants
too.
to get involved. This could be a dive, or it could be a case of too many cooks. Slowq is going to find C-Boy in the brush as Riddle need to make the play
go on to
happen
him
now.
instead.
They're going towards C-Boy. They're trying to get the damage on the Hecarim. They grab the kill. He's not even on the tower, but members of Bifrost have turned up. They're getting a decent amount of damage on MC. He will be removed, but now Bifrost are chasing Riddle out of their jungle. Get the stun down onto Rel. She's too slow. Gets taken down before she can remount. Slowq gets over the wall to dodge out, and Jewel is actually stopped from going over the wall of the Abyssal Charge anyway, but that's the joy. You called the play as it happened. We saw the response from both teams, a couple of kills apiece.
It's a telegraph play at the end of the day. I think as soon as Bifrost see this wave stacking up slowly, if I could call it out, I feel like the players on Bifrost can call it out. And that's exactly what happens here. We'll get the replay of the dive. So it's Slowq finding C-Boy in the bush. They root him down and they jump on him immediately. They execute him. Who gets the kill is Slowq, which is nice for Slowq in this lane in the 1v1. But at the end of the day, Vex is always going to negate that 1v1 play. And from this point on, Nuke's demounted. He went for the engage on C-Boy, so he's a very easy pickup. And like you called out as well, the mid lane is very, very fast to respond to the map as it moved. And especially C-Boy skipped out on the camp just to ensure that he was there. Of course, did die, but the point is he sucks Riddle into the bottom side, so they're able to, at the very least, trade 2 for 1. Excellent read from Bifrost. Riddle doing the correct thing, maybe a little bit slowly, a little bit too easy to predict.
Yes, it was the kind of thing where this is the correct play, but everyone knows it's the correct play. And those 2 kills going on to Aphelios, we talked about Draven, it being important for him to get the kills. We were kind of cut off on that point because the play was happening. 2 kills on the Aphelios now, and we know how much not only he can do, but how much Odie can do on him, because we've seen it time and time again.
Yeah, I mean, even last year, EUM, OD on the Aphelios on, what was it, Rogue? I go Rogue, I believe. Spectacular player throughout that tournament.
Yeah?
Oh, no, not a go Rogue. Where was Odie? Odie's come from.
You're looking at me.
I'm looking at you. I'm supposed to know these things.
For you.
Because Lucca was on go Rogue. So I'm trying. Some historian, or not even historian, people are just probably going to be mad at that one. But Odie, of course, like we know, on the Aphelios. He's spectacular. PDW. Odie was on PDW. There you go. It came to my head eventually. MC's doing some counter jungling. And we'll steal away the blue, steal away the Gromp. And these have been cycled twice already. So these are pretty big XP pickups. That's going to help Slingshot him back into parry with C-Boy. Level 6. Also going to pick up the wall. C-Boy is here. And Fury actually isn't, but coming out of the base, so might be able to make it back to this in time. Kick away, wall hop. All right, MC's out. So Shikari might have something to say about it.
Shikari might well do, but MC's looking for a route out, looks towards the mid wave, will be able to jump away from it and dives towards a wall, but takes a lot of damage, and there's 2 members of Bifrost chasing him down. Kex is there to try and defend, to try and keep these hunters at bay as MC goes around the houses, but all he finds is Shikari, and you don't want to ring that guy's doorbell at 2 in the morning. I was going for the play, and I was like, there needs to be a closing line, and I don't know what it is.
Why? You know what, I'm just going to leave you with that one. Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised that Riddle didn't try and defend MC a little harder. I think my only thought process here is that Kex had just come out of Meganar, so they didn't feel confident fighting.
Yeah.
Because Fury, I think the call would have been Fury's in base, he might make it there first. So even though Slowq's there, if the wave's shoving back into Fury, I'm going to miss too much from making this move. So they throw MC to the wayside. Shikari picks up the kill, which is going to be nice for his 1v1.
Double buffs as well.
Double buffs as well. And I feel like it's not something we see too often. Not Fury, Shikari on a carry. I feel like
this
historically,
is true, actually.
The closest to carry we get to see out of Shikari is what? Gangplank at best? And even then, typically utilizes a weak sider. So different, different tune here for Shikari. I'm excited to see what exactly he can get done on such a mechanically intensive champion. We, of course, know he's very capable of playing these champions, but not often afforded the opportunity to do so. So definitely a bit of a joy, I'm sure, especially for the longer term, sort of legacy UK viewers, additionally. Nice to see him on a pick like this, as Riddle will pick up the Ocean Dragon. Mountain spawns next. 1 of 3. The Cloud, Hextech, or Infernal will be our soul here. And I think all very impactful.
Huh? I'm proud you know the names of all 5 of the dragons.
Oh my god, thank you. I study so hard for it. As I'm more interested really on the Herald usage here.
Okay.
From C-Boy. At the moment, his camps are technically going to be spawning bottom to top because MC counter jungled them at kind of an awkward time. It's broken the pattern of which his camps are going to spawn. So it makes me wonder whether he's actually going to put emphasis on trying to drop it after this full clear here. I expect him to full clear, of course. There's missing pings on the bottom side. There's not really a wave to work with on the bottom side. It doesn't look like they want to drop it in the mid lane because Fury's just dipping back into Fog. So let's see, because now that the resets have come in from Bifrost, they can open out through the mid lane, which is exactly what Jules doing right here, and they can look to force put it down in the mid lane. But you can see Nukes on the top side of your screen. He's moved here, and MC is also at the Raptor camp. So it's about an even match on both ends, and even the top laners, some kind of movement there. Kex is missing a massive top wave, by the way, for this movement. And Shikari knows that. Shikari's now probably going to try and bodyguard with him a little bit out of the wave, or could go for the plate himself.
Yeah, grabs himself a little bit of gold off that plate. Kex has turned up, and Shikari's not interested in getting involved any further. As Riddle getting a lot of respect down on the bot side. They've got T-Boy here, and the Rift Herald being dropped. Probably going to just be hurled down, get some gold into the pocket of Odie. But reading the plays, this has been such a... Both of these teams are just doing what is expected of them. Actually stop the charge. That's massive.
Yeah, that's absolutely huge, because Odie, I'll hold the point, Kex could be in trouble here.
He's okay.
Yeah, just goes short, but if that Shuriken flip lands,
he's dead.
That's a dead nah. But yeah, if we could get a quick flip over, observers, of the gold, because I want to see what the difference is between Faijan and Odie. Not too much in it, despite the 2 kills. I guess it's the CS difference, really, that's making it up for the Riddle AD carry here. As Engage potentially into Jaw, it will land.
Yeah, Will, he's going to be dragged back in with the ultimate as well. Pops the Grey Health for the shield as Duel tries to wander away. Odie bringing damage down, but MC is there in the top side. We're going to see another exchange as Kex is caught out of the hop and will be cut down. It's a kill for Bifrost in the top side. It looks like everyone survived bot.
Yeah, somehow. And I would love to get a replay of this bot thing, assuming nothing else really happens, because MC committed Kick Flash.
Yes.
So nobody dying in that exchange. It's a bit of a strange one. I will say that. Jewel, Lewis Flash and Exhaust on the way out. So I really want to know how this Bifrost bottom lane got away with that. Let's see a replay here. So this is the start of the fight. Of course, Nukes goes in. Jewel a little bit out of position, goes for the Tongue Lash onto Vajan. Glacial Augment, Gravity Storm, we know this. What does MC do to not quite find the kill? Because this is where we cut to the top side. Oh, okay. It's a very MC thing to do.
He tries to tries to go for the double and finds nothing.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, he does find Jules Flash. And I think that was probably, given the fact that Odie's in between, you know, the Sonic Wave angle, I think he does the right thing. Committing the Flash, I just think trying to give a little less reaction time.
Yes.
But unfortunately, he doesn't find anything for himself. So the play fizzles out there. So Herald, we're in a bit of a sort of soft reset here on the map, because Herald dropped, wasn't really found, didn't really find anything. And everybody on the map, with the exception of MC, who's going to have his ultimate coming up soon, is going to have their ultimate come up within the next sort of 30 seconds, 40 seconds or so. And this dragon spawns in about 90, so it's about who's going to have set up around this objective. So far, it feels like priority has been back and forth on the bottom side, albeit it's Bifrost that have technically come out ahead, just simply because you can already see in the inventory, Odie's finished up the Kraken Slayer before 14 minutes.
Yeah.
Has that one in his inventory. The mid lane's been very quiet. I think it's to be expected, given the matchup. I think Fury, very comfortable in matchups like these. Where
but is this a problem? Because the devs were talking about it, we mentioned it a little bit. Slow Q and MC, they have this tale as old as time mid lane combination. They got the First Blood bot on the Draven, but nothing else has really happened.
It feels to me that since that bottom side play went awry, they've not really been able to find the momentum that they were maybe hoping to ride off the back of that play. And whether that's maybe knocked confidence is hard to say in a game, as you know, that's 15 minutes in, 14 minutes in. But it feels like they've not really been able to find grounds to actually go for an aggressive play. They've not looked to abuse the mid lane because Vex is so good at, you know, immobilizing these mobile champions. And as soon as C-Boy hits level 6 as well, it just becomes a much more difficult skirmish to follow up on. So much CC. MC trying to bully C-Boy, but I think could actually get aggressed onto it.
Needs to be careful. Bot lane is going to be able to have the rotation from Riddle, so there's no long-term chase angle onto MC.
The issue is MC's blown his flash, his kick rather. So he's now not going to have that for this fight, assuming it breaks out on spawn. And that's going to just be another small advantage over to Bifrost come the setup. Now, Riddle, they're in front of the objective first, but it looks like they're just trying to clear out some vision. It seems like maybe a bit of a split call. MC wanted to go mid, try and find some setup. Faijan and Nukes wanted to start the dragon, and now could be in awkward position. Fury got chunked out quite heavily, and that's a massive amount of HP to lose. But I think it just seems like the call from Riddle is we just got to back out from this one for now. Priority seems a little bit awkward. Slowq looks like he wants to reset very, very soon. And again, Slowq took Ignite into the Blanc lane. They've not been able to abuse the 2v2 at all. And now no teleport to, you know, maybe base, teleport, and then contest this dragon. And because of that, Bifrost are going to pick this one up effectively for free.
And I mean, you look at this game, actually, we're going to see Slowq going in, find something mid. Okay. That's going to completely turn the thread out the window. Get rid. Loki gets the kill mid. They lose out on the dragon. It's Infernal that's going to be spawning on as our Soul Drake. Is that too late for Slowq to get the situation going?
No, I don't think it is. I think there's definitely, a lot of room for him to work with here. I think second item, you imagine he wants to go Shadow Flame. He could skip the item entirely. He has gone for the Merc Treads to sort of avoid the consistent fear chain that can come out between the Hecarim and the Vex. So the burst damage isn't going to be as high as that full-blown glass cannon build. Well, you're still going to be able to execute, or at the very least chunk out heavily some of the squishier members of Bifrost. Finding that solo kill, it just propels him to get that Ludens now. He's got a couple of stacks going on the Dark Seal, maybe turns into a Medjai's in a couple stacks time. Let's see Riddle looking for this bottom side play though.
Only needs to be careful, just being jumping off through behind the minion wave, gets flash kicked and might go down. It's eaten up by Duel, and the teleport coming through for assistance. Of course, it's post 40 minutes. Shikari is here looking for the damage.
Oh.
It's massive from a Bifrost. Riddle caught out. They'll lose 2. Slowq's here, but it's too late to the punch. Might turn around and look for Fury, but C-Boy's riding on through. The damage coming in is little, but Vex is also only a little champ. So it looks like they're going to be able to get away. Meanwhile, on top of
the whole breaker push,
doesn't have teleport, so he's going to get a decent push down. Members of Riddle are looking to defend, but they're going to be exhausted immediately. Slowq has to be forced to back away, but Fanacan moving forward. That's a massive amount of damage onto Aphelios. Big shutdown too, but he will also fall for his sins. It will be C-Boy securing that one. So a very, very extended play. Nah, still just pushing on the top side, but it will be matched in the bot lane. Slowq needs to be careful. Fury on the side. This play is still ongoing, but it looks like everyone's going to back away. They're just going to trade towers. But the fight, Bifrost shaded.
Yeah, Bifrost definitely went out. It's honestly, even thinking about it, it's hard to call because Kex stayed in the top side.
Yeah.
No teleport. That was a lot of waves missed on the Bifrost end. So it's a trade of gold. I think in terms of XP, maybe you can argue Riddle might be up just a touch because of that. You can see Slowq didn't really miss anything from the bottom side. Of course, Fatijan did die for the exchange, but the thing is he cashed in, and I'd love to see how much gold he actually cashed in on. Nice attempt by MC here, but the angled, it just doesn't quite get him into the alcove. Unfortunately, crashes into the wall, and that means that the Devour is there. And look at this, Infernal Moment, Shikari on top. It's just a massive amount of CC with the Abyssal Voyage knock up as well. Nukes not able to survive, and this is Riftmaker Akali, by the way, damage. It's not actually the tank Akali build. So a lot more damage available to this Akali than we'd maybe expect immediately. And that ultimate's already back up on cooldown. C-Boy looking for Kex with his top laner.
Used is going to be knocked back. No, it's a little bit too late. So Kex actually goes mega, gets the damage. The ult into the wall shouldn't be enough to kill C-Boy, but will be enough to dissuade. Now MC's here though. The angle might change. The movement is good from C-Boy though. He'll be able to get away. Shikari does the same. They will be taking down these minions. No tower top to defend them. But MC is much more preoccupied with grabbing himself a camp rather than following up on the play.
I'm going to say it, Bifrost could have been punished a little bit heavier there. I think Kex actually held his armor a little bit too long. I think if he ults immediately, C-Boy might be in a position where he can't necessarily walk out. So a little bit fortunate. You understand why they go for the play. Kex, though, relatively safe, whole break resistances. Just makes him too tanky, especially in Mega Gnar as well. You get free stats in the Mega Gnar form. Not able to take him down once he popped that one. Faijan, I really want to know how much gold Faijan got off the passive. I'm not sure if it's something I can request at a win.
I don't know if that's something. I don't
know how that works. If we could toggle the gold, maybe it would give us a bit of an indicator because they were relatively. Oh my goodness, it was a lot of gold on the cash-in.
It was a shutdown as well.
It was a shutdown, yeah. So we can just some kind of middle ground. 450 for the shutdown, 400-ish gold for the cash-in.
Yeah, go on then.
Yeah, sure.
What's the deal?
It's fine.
Definitely not how stats work.
It's not, but we're going to even it out here. Slowq managed to make it out of that Everfrost route. I think just about cheating out on the missile speed with the distortion, as the dragon is going to be spawning 50 seconds time. It's something that I don't feel like either team is going to be willing to actually give up for free, so I expect a clash of heads here.
Of course, third dragon is a little bit lower priority just because both teams already have one, so that win condition is going to be a little bit further in the distance, maybe a little bit further back in their minds. But, as you mentioned, every little helps, and this game is very, very close. This game is a massive one for both of these teams, and neither are making big mistakes.
Yeah, neither are making big mistakes. I think the only thing really that's going to give either team an edge here. Riddle, they've got 2 items completed on Firejan. Could see an engage here, hold the point.
It gets on the fire, the damage coming through is massive. That's the combination they were using, but no one's gone down just yet. They will be able to pick up one. MC gets away with a sliver of health. Kex on the side gets a massive re-engage, but Riddle can't really follow up. Fury goes golden, so he doesn't go down. And Bifrost look for the dive, can't find any good targets. So for all the pomp and ceremony, they only get the Draven.
And what's great is Bifrost actually do exactly what I was going to finish my point with. Bifrost have the team fighting composition. They're the one of the true engage tools, and they use it there perfectly. I was about to say, Riddle, their team fight, it's more about, you know, trying to find these random poke angles into eventually you dive in with the LeBlanc, the Lee Sin, the Rel follows up on top of that. Maybe with a Kex ultimate to sort of mix things up and try and close the fight out entirely. Kex gets a pretty decent ult on the back end of that, but the issue is the damage was already done. The Aphelios ultimate came on top of the Hecarimar, which was an absolutely fantastic engage from C-Boy. Riddle just no way to defend against that level of team fight prowess. And follow-up here as C-Boy goes in, ultimate lands as well from Fury, and yeah, knockback into triple Everfrost route. Into a Chakram ultimate as well. And yes, okay, great, fantastic. This ultimate from Kex is amazing. The exhaust, by the way, from Jewel, probably what keeps the health bars away from falling to lethal numbers, because it was slow Q that goes into the double distortion, but it gets immediately exhausted, so the execution damage isn't there. And this is the thing, you know, if you replace MC's Lee Sin with something like, I don't know, for the sake of the argument, like a Jarvan.
Okay.
Imagine a Jarvan could slam back in on top of that Nara ultimate. That's, you know, death on the end of Bifrost. At the very least, kills will be traded in this particular circumstance. Unfortunately, on the Lee Sin, had to immediately disengage because of the engage from Bifrost. So again, this is the thing now that I actually do want to see from Riddle. I'm glad they're doing it. It is risky when you play your mid jungle on the bottom side though, because you can already see the pings coming onto the Baron from Bifrost. You play to try and 2v2 because you know you should still be able to win it. Fajan is heavily respecting and doing the correct thing, yielding this tower. But as Riddle, I think they need to try and get the lane assignments back into order. You want to chuck Slowq onto the top side. You don't care about this bottom side tower that much. Put Kex on the bottom side. Yes, he doesn't have TP right now, but your stronger member of the two, it's a 201 LeBlanc. That's level 15 at 22 minutes. You don't want her on the bottom side so far away from any major objective that could occur right now. But Bifrost, right now, just standing tall. They don't really have to do much else. Their composition plays itself realistically. It's just going to be about finding those engages into Riddle when they feel like they can pick them apart.
Well, this is the thing, and you're losing out a lot of what Nar can do with the Hullbreaker on the side lane, because his resistances aren't going to work when he's with the team. And obviously, you need him for the engage. You need him for that ability to slap back, because if the exhaust isn't there, or if you manage to catch someone before that happens, that team fight looks very, very different. And when you're fighting around stuff like Baron or later Dragons, you kind of need him in the vicinity, or at least on a side lane with teleport, which he currently doesn't have. So it is Slowq once again back down here. The MC's not shadowing, so you're keeping the pressure on, but it feels like Riddle, for the team that needs to be doing stuff quickly, isn't really doing that. Yeah,
because when you have your LeBlanc down here like this, you don't really have a strong side. It's just the fact of the matter. You just don't have a strong side like this. So Bifrost kind of gets to cruise now. And I mean, for a composition like Bifrost's, right? You're so comfortable, you're so happy. You're happy to see LeBlanc on the bottom side. And now finally rotates up to the mid lane for now. And I expect Riddle will now readjust the lane assignments potentially. Could just be keeping him down there because they know. The other call is maybe we know they're not going to go for a Baron super early. Let's keep him on the bottom side and try and pressure this tower. As Jewel could have overstepped.
Baiting in the catfish will jump away as MC and Slowq once again unable to find anything as a duo. And now Riddle going to be moving back towards their jungle, secure themselves the red buff and march away. But I don't know. Let's zoom out a little bit.
Sure.
As casters, observers, we don't.
Yeah, observers
you're
doing a great.
Oh, thank you. Okay,
well, maybe do zoom.
It's good because
this is a pretty good
so it could actually work. That's my observer showing circa 2019.
Yeah.
But something that we should be talking about is the conditions. So we talked about how this game was likely to be pretty quick.
Yeah.
Bifrost basically slowed it way down. Riddle were unable to do very much. Is there a point in this game where we sit here and go, right, Riddle are in a massive hole, even if things don't look that bad, just because they needed to get stuff going sooner? Or is it a case of that was the big win condition, but things are actually fine?
So I like to talk about a thing which it's a bit of a concept, but I call it mobility scaling.
Okay.
Now, there's not and I'm going to put a massive asterisk next to this.
Okay.
There's not too much hard CC on Bifrost's end, which is immediately always interrupting the dashes
Yes.
on the Riddle side. So they have enough mobility and, you know, burst damage that they can make these cheeky kind of plays where, for example, if Fury's not in the immediate vicinity to shut down the mobility,
Yeah.
they can find picks. But the issue is there's so much safety inside of this composition from Bifrost.
Yeah.
It's like, does this small little thing,
Who do
little
you
edge protection-
target? Because if Odie's next to Tom,
He just gets eaten up.
so
There's not really a strong target. You can try and pick on Jewel like this.
they tried it, but the damage coming down
Okay.
onto Nukes is equal, and we're going to see his teleport coming in directly into the middle of the team by C-Boy and Odie on the side, but Bifrost maybe being a little safe. The teleport's going to get them to the Dragon
Shikari.
anyway. Shikari's looking for something, but can't find it. Nukes is going to be caught out low, and it's going to be Vex helping secure the kill with Hecarim alongside. MC running for his live call out. Kex goes through. C-Boy charges on in for the double kill. Slowky on the side might have been looking for a flank, but probably more realistically just wants to get out of this one. As Bifrost moving down the mid lane towards the Dragon, you've got to imagine actually Baron,
yeah,
is a consideration.
You know what? I might just backpedal on my point after watching this. Yes, it's a bit of a, it's a very, you know, Bifrost-sided setup, but that just looked really ridiculous. I guess
the asterisk.
this might have been the asterisk. Yeah, I think Riddle, again, they have to find some kind of angle on the side where, you know, Slowku comes over the wall, it's followed up by MC, so they can, you know, confirm a target takedown. Unfortunately, like who was highlighting, the safety from Bifrost composition just doesn't really allow that too frequently, and Bifrost very happily going to walk away with this Baron buff. They don't really care about losing this Dragon, to be honest with you. Yet again, they find, I wouldn't even say it's more a re-engage. As
it is, yeah.
It's Riddle that were looking for the pick onto Jewel more than anything, and I thought Shikari maybe goes a little bit deep initially, but the follow-up's just there from Bifrost, and again, it just speaks to the ease of execution of this composition. MC tries to save his support, but just ends up being pretty much force feed to C-Boy's Hecarim. And Riddle, it just, you can kind of see there's no real response. There's no damage that can be... Yeah, I don't even think that's necessarily like a symptom of their draft. I think in this case, it's just the fact that Bifrost just break them apart so easily with all of the CC that you can't really...
There's no option for Riddle to come back in, because you can see the catch, the re-engage from Shikari. He goes in deep, you say he's in trouble, but Riddle weren't really there to engage, and now they're there to engage onto C-Boy, but he's going to be able to back away. Riddle now trying to get a catch, but there are too many members from Bifrost there, so they need to back away, but Kex is going to get re-engaged on. They can't find the kill. The Fury has to go golden, as we see coming through. Nukes grabs two, one kill onto Fury. Falakan picks that one up, but now we've got the re-engage coming in from the Pony. He's looking to deliver him into the backline. Duel and Odie moving forward. Yeah, they might have lost their Vex, but that's the disengage. They've still got the engage.
I thought that was an IE Aphelios auto attacks coming out. That's a pre-Aphelios, pre-Infinity Edge Aphelios. Absolutely melting the front line.
They've got Baron here.
Yeah, they've got Baron. Death timers along, they can end this game well if they so want to. I think they might not risk it just because Fury's dead. They're not even going to chance the inhibitor, which I think they can play patiently, but that's definitely a lot of respect to pay to Riddle, I think, in this kind of position. And Riddle gonna walk away with this one without losing their inhibitor. It looks good initially. I think, you know, being able to bring C-Boy in, it looks good, but they're just not able to find enough damage initially. Fury comes in, stopwatches, flash away from Kex to keep him effectively alive, and then this re-engage from Nukes to burst down Fury, who no longer has flashed, who no longer has that stopwatch or the stasis, is great, but it's just Odie just untouched. Look at the auto attacks, 5-3-7, I believe, was onto Draven at the very back end, or it could have been even MC, to be honest with you. Absolute slaughter in that choke point there with the Infernum. It's one of the worst places you want to fight in Aphelios with an Infernum, is a choke. And now Bifrost continue to push their lead into this top side of the map. The mid lane's already open. They can effectively go back to the mid lane and take down the inhibitor as long as they pick up a positive skirmish at the end of the day. Kex is going to pick up this bottom side tower, but it's a consolation prize.
He's got the ability to get back into the fight, so consolation prize is better than nothing, as C-Boy once again threatening on the side, will just turn back towards the tower. Second one goes down, and Nar needs to be making a decision here because they're sieging in.
Yeah, if Riddle can somehow hold against Baron buff, which actually the Baron buff's going to expire in 10 seconds, so if they can hold out on this one wave in the siege and Bifrost don't read the room and engage right now, this isn't too bad for Riddle and Kex, and honestly, I think, yeah, just going to recall that. I was curious about whether or not he's going to push on. And now that the recall comes in, oh my god, Fury. Massive chunk. They're looking for some kind of... They're looking for more, potentially, Bifrost.
Glorious teleport, but slowly moving forward. They're going to be able to get the second inhibitor, and I think Bifrost now have read the room and said, look, let's just leave. We haven't got Shikari here. We don't need to force him to use his summoners. We could all escape. And MC moving forward, trying to make them pay. But isn't going to be able to do so because he goes down to below half health, and engaging there would not be a great idea. Teleport actually coming through from Shikari into the base. He's looking for a big collapse, and Slowky's already been exhausted. Goes low. Vanagan goes even lower. MC gets a nice kick to try and disengage things, but this is such a messy fight. Members going down on both sides. Nukes goes low. Shikari in the back line looking for MC. Will be able to find him as Slowky moves up towards the top lane, but members of Bifrost, there are too many standing as the LeBlanc will only waste the time of one single fat fish. And it looks like Bifrost, they don't need the Baron to close this one out. They've got the minion waves, and they should be able to keep themselves in the race for that tiebreaker at the top.
And I can hear the 4 and 10 teams' ears perk up as Riddle lose this game here to Bifrost, because now this is the opportunity that they realistically needed. If Riddle win this game, the bottom of the table looks entirely different.
It's a nightmare.
For the rest of the day. It's a nightmare. It's Armageddon on the bottom side. It just feels like there's no chance. Right now, Bifrost keeping themselves alive for the race for second place. I don't even think it looks shaky, to be honest with you. I think the first dive, yes, well executed from Riddle.